organization, especially about food waste organization, to put a more scope in it. And by bottom-up organization, I mean something like food reformers, also green culling, empty wardrobe, and also just the whole bottom also green culling, culling, what is it? Culling green streets, Saturday market. So that's why I have put all of you together. And first I'm going to put you into, I think we can be 3 different groups. And then you're going to make a stakeholder map over the different organizations with a focus on bottom-up organization. It doesn't have to be anything with food waste, but the ones that are here in Kolding. And then also the different institutions like the municipality and companies that are supporting. And you will have to do this with the vegetables. So you can, for example, see maybe the bread could be the municipality, or it could also be this one, depending on what you think is symbolizing. And you have to go together. And you're going to get a white cardboard where you can put it on. And maybe we need to do it on the ground, I think, because now there is food on the table. Then you're just going to present it very shortly. Then afterwards you're going to go through the different obstacles and opportunities that a food waste organization, especially bottom-up, is facing. And you're going to write on some small cardboard that you have here. You're going to also, first you're going to do it by yourself, and then you're going to put it all together. Then you're really shortly going to present it. And then afterwards you're going to write about the different dreams that a food waste organization, bottom-up food waste organization, dream scenario it could be. It can also be the surroundings around it. And you have to write on those as well. And then afterwards you're going to pair up with 4 or 3 others. Pick one of the different dream scenarios. It doesn't have to be your own. And then you have to build something with the food. But that's the last thing. And then you're going to present it.
So we said that Bygning 5 is the center of our map, and it's a 5 made from strawberries. And the cucumbers represents the lines. And then we made Slice Town, which is located in Bygning 5, and that's a slice of bread. Empty your wardrobe has the cucumber because it's the longest word, and it's under the cucumber we thought, but then it didn't. These 4 little things are the free educational institutions and Packhuset. Kolding Kommuna is the orange for no particular reason. Green Kolding with the kale, it's totally green. Then a broken banana represents Repair Cafe. And torn trashy pieces is Cat Camel, where we can find the recycled items. And Easy Food, collaborating with food reformers and tobbers, like this is a little triangle. And Easy Food, we choose the sweet things because they are producing sweet stuff. And that was our, I think we have only those which have been already mentioned.
And Green Street Kolding?
Yeah, Green Streets for a carrot and no reason.
No, there is a reason.
And I didn't know the
It's part of
reason.
the brand identity, the carrot.
Yes, it is actually.
Yes.
Of course it is, yeah.
And it's in connection with the Kommuna.
Yes.
Wow,
And,
you've been creative.
Maybe you should write Jazzy Trekland
Jazzy Trekland.
and Nikolai.
That's under.
Of course, Nikolai, you know. The other Nikolai.
And someone
Not just Building
mentioned,
5, but...
also microgreens. Did you put that on?
Yeah,
you
we
were-
have them
okay, you
also.
already-
Yeah.
Well, it seems like everybody had a little bit different. And you actually asked why I chose this place, and there is many reasons. Well, it is because we have office here in Building 5, but also in the kitchen, but also because it's just a gathering where we all gather and we meet. And that is also one of the reasons why I gathered a lot of you, because you're all different people that have taken part in food reformers journey. And actually something that I forgot to say in the beginning. It's 1 year ago that we had the first chance to do it. So it's a little bit nice, and also it's very nice to gather all of you and see what happened.
Yeah. Easy food, there was and practical ecology.
Maybe you can tell me what that is, because
So I just know what you said, and like they do some urban gardening too, that they helping people to create their gardens. They also managing the garden food in the botanical garden. And then we have the food health. Yeah.
and is there any reason for the different vegetables that you chose?
Well, the municipality is maybe a bit boring sometimes, so therefore we chose the kale.
But it's all year round.
All round, yeah.
But you
all
also
year round.
green some places.
Yeah,
And you have a lot of different arms going out.
exactly. And the bread we chose for the Green Street because it's a big platform where everybody can meet. And the tomatoes was just because supermarkets is a lot of different entities. And the banana because it's easy on the stomach, so easy fruit. Yeah, I think that was the most thoughtful choice of fruits.
Is there a core, like a center on the map? Because is it like uniform, or is the start like the beginning and then everything is like spreading, or?
Yeah, we started with them like a little bit on the bottom. And we tried to put like the companies like more that
Companies
way,
over
and
here.
the public
Government
sector
over
is that way.
We actually also put down the education institutions because we think they play an important role, but maybe we could think them in a bit more in this. Yeah. Great. Thank you.
Of course, we have the Klima og Bæredygtighed, Climate and Sustainability Department in Kolding Kommune, and the container in Karen. And then we have Green Kolding and Easy Food. They're helping Toppers as well, both Charlotte and Torben. Then we have Kolding Food Help. She's called Ida. She's also attending at the market sometime. Then we have Culture and Event, because that was Torben Åby who helped me. Torben Åby. Enrique. She's more she's the leader of that. So she could be a contact. And then we have Kolding Green Trees, of course, and Kolding Green Trees Foundation. We have Repair Cafe, and then we have Redux, Skatkammer, She-Works. And yeah, what is She-Works?
Oh, I knew you would ask.
What is it?
Yes, Stella, can you tell it? It's a black people who are...
Integration project who are collecting textile waste and re-sewing it onto something beautiful. And they are very much into modest fashion, where they try to put further fabric on the sleeves because,
I think it's also NGO that gives job opportunities to immigrants. So they can also use textile and create new design.
I think they belong.
Yes.
I think they have their place at the Redux. Yeah.
And we have the social economic institutions like the House Venture. Part of those are like Nordhøj and stuff like that. So if you have some problems, you come and you get things like this. And then we have Special Minds. And what was that?
That's it's a long story, but it's actually like a place where they only have people who are autistics, and they have like they have these people to work, and then they repair. They repair here in Kolding. They repair computers and stuff. And in Aarhus, they have like a big place also where they do really professionals, but only with the autistics.
actually all of our electronics from the municipality goes to them, and then they repair them and cleanse them and
And then we have Baku, so the makerspace there, and also Hansenberg, you have some opportunities outside. And then of course it's choosing like music, where we also go about music and stuff like that. And use rehearsal rooms and stuff like that. But what's the guy called? Is a woman? Is a new one? Besides it was. Yeah, Gosse.
Martin Røn.
Yeah, because those names are important.
Is there any of the other groups that doesn't have any of those that have here? So is there any new ones for you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting.
And of course we have interior wardrobe and food.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, maybe one which could be important, it's the lack of support from the government. It's still not clear what is surplus food and how we can deal with surplus food.
A little louder.
Also the stores and the shops, they don't know what to do with the surplus food. So should we store the food waste? Is it like legal to collaborate with food reformers and institutions like food reformers? Yes, and like in general the lack of resources. If there are not enough people who are like motivated to be a part of the communities, which are like a non-profit, like not enough volunteers, lack of finance, time limits, logistic-wise, how we can now have the issue with transporting the food waste, and how we can do it in a more eco-friendly way. Should I continue? No, I think
Maybe Barbie, you can put over.
For me, it's like finding and keep engaging the audience. So the people who we want to reach out, keep them interested in us. And the other one is changing people's mindset about food waste, because change is always difficult for them, especially if they have to change their mindset what is waste. That's it.
Thank you.
Yeah, this is maybe not as much about food waste, but more when you like start up. I think it's sometimes hard to keep the same interest and keep the same fire on what you started, because in the start there's a lot of like interest in, okay, we're gonna do this because it's new and it's something that we need, but to keep that same interest going is sometimes
Motivation.
hard. Yeah, motivation, sure. Yeah, and I think sometimes it's hard to get things truly through because maybe people don't have the experience or the lack of money or something, and then you just end up like talking about what you wish to do or talking about what you could have done and everything, and just not like really getting anything.
Yeah, I think that is something that we all are facing a lot.
Yeah.
It's very important.
So they're kind of combined.
Rules of the municipality, for example, with the fridge that we wanted to put up now for letting food waste out to people. We cannot get to do that because they're afraid of rats and all of these different things.
The rat thing.
To get room for the different things that you want to do, to get a kitchen for food reformers and to get all of these different things. And funds, of course. Yeah. Where to get the money to do what you want to do.
Actually, I just got told that there is something called Skralde Café, and they are opening a fridge with dumpster dive food that is supported by Aarhus municipality. And they actually get money from the municipality to give it to people.
In Aarhus?
In Aarhus, yeah.
Nice.
My friend just told me yesterday. So yeah, we
Nice
should
to
have
know.
we should have a look at that. But now, when you said it.
But also in Aarhus there is the store chain. I think with Monica.
Oh yeah, we've been there.
We've been there, so they're selling kind of second-hand products, which maybe the packaging is broken,
Or it's close to expiration date, or it's just not appealing to be in the store.
Yeah, but it's mostly products which are like in a package, foods. There were also some dairy products. So I mean,
Is
something.
it real food? Or?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And another big problem is the international students leaving.
Yes.
Yes, exactly.
We need to do something about that.
Yeah.
How to make them stay?
Do you wanna be the next one?
Tap into the food value chain. Like, where do you begin? Do you begin at the producers or the consumers or the supermarkets, or where do you begin? I could imagine that could be a difficult question because you want to change it all. Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. So I think that's what's the only thing that wasn't mentioned already. Yeah.
Thank you.
The thing that have not been mentioned so far says the vision. So why are you doing this as the food organization? Do you want to save food from a dumpster, so save it from being thrown out, or do you just want a cheap meal, basically? So is this for the society or personal you're going into? And then, as Barbie said, how is the best way possible to share your vision with newcomers, so you get the spirit ongoing and keep that idea living? Why you started it?
Yeah, I think what haven't been mentioned is what I wrote is transportation of the food waste, because we struggle with it a lot, and I wrote communication, which is mostly about what you said about what's the vision, but also like the internal communication of how we work together. Sometimes it can be challenging.
Maybe I can add something here. If there is like, just to add what you're saying, there is a type of missing structure. So like the internal members, they don't know who to ask, or like if there is a specific task, who is responsible for it.
So more structure, more visible structure maybe.
Yeah. And also related with communication, it's also sometimes it's the language barrier.
Yeah, I also wrote language.
And can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, I mean, it's both like in food reformers there's a lot of internationals, but something to reach everyone should be Danish too, but it's in the other way too, that there's a lot of internationals in the city, so something should be in English too. So I think it's like both ways.
Yeah.
Because we have so many like students and internationals, but we also have to communicate to locals, and it should be just like bilingual. How do you say it?
Bilingual?
Yeah.
Tosproget. Altså sådan dansk og engelsk.
We always forget it.
We try.
Yeah.
And if we have farmers, we do the opposite. We only write in English. So we also need to think about that. Yes. Thank you. And who wants to be the next?
Thank you. I think the only thing I have that hasn't really been mentioned is the lack of a central hub for information about all of these initiatives. Because I think right now most people are getting the information from Facebook. It's like if you see Facebook events that are then like hosted by food reformers, and that's how you learn about food reformers. But if I don't see that until 6 months after I moved to Calling as a student, that's 6 months where I would have been a volunteer, but I wasn't. So if there was like a place where you could read about all the things that are happening when you first arrive in Calling, and then you can just quickly decide what you want to do.
Good one. Yeah, maybe a visible
Yeah. Or like a umbrella page where all of them are visible there. So it's just in one place.
And I really think the municipality should be part of that, because otherwise the municipality will never understand what is going on. So you will do a lot of stuff which maybe could be done also if you collaborate and stuff like that. And I have really tried to convince people about that for months now, but it seems that it doesn't get in yet. But at some point it will, I hope, also, when it's nice you are here. Also, I think, the clear purpose, as you said, that's important, but also you have to think about, I'm sorry, and I'm not sorry to say, but I noticed that when you are international students, it's a question of, is it community driven or is it purpose driven? I think that all the international students, it's nice to have a place and a group where you can meet up and so you can be together. And sometimes maybe the purpose is less important, and that can make some confusion. But I know that for myself. So you have a lot of maybe sometimes also personal agendas. You know, if you build something that you have to agree on what is it actually you are doing. And then of course it's a time issue. But then again, institutionalized thinking. This is also what I'm thinking about when I talk about the municipality, to break down those silos which I was written on, and communication to get message through to the whole community, which also is something we have talked about. Because if they don't understand it, it can never have an impact, I think, in the society. Yes, I think those were some of the most important things.
Fine, doing the next.
No, I have nothing to supply. No.
For me, everything. Okay. Well, great. Thank you. Maybe if you could just put it like on top of each other, then I will just connect it. Because the next task is to write about the opportunities. And was 5 minutes fine, or do you think you should a little bit less or more time? 5 minutes is fine. Okay, then I can just
start for someone who would like to do something which they never done before. So yeah, it's the things.
As the thing, food is kind of like a way to people's hearts, so it's an easy way to encourage other people, engage them to take action and do something about climate or their usual life. That's very easy, and it's a nice way of like changing people's view on what you can forbrug.
Yeah. Consume.
Yeah, like consumers don't have to like grow up.
So if they're having something tangible.
Yeah. Exactly. Like really point out to people like see what you can do.
Yeah, make Kolding more interesting and meaning with life.
Meaning with life.
Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
That they give some meaning to people to help with getting the world to be a better place.
Should I pick again? Maybe
Well,
I
you
can
just
go
say,
through
just say, yeah.
I think one of the most important things for me is using or like having performance as a platform where it could be a place for integration, because there are a lot of like international people, not only students, but like locals which are coming from like foreign countries that have been living here for like 2 years, 3 years. For example, yesterday there was a guy that he didn't know about building 5. He haven't heard about sustainability, and actually he came at the farmers market, and I see for the farmers is maybe one of the best. It could be a case, maybe one of the best practices in the city, and platform for innovation. Another thing is networking and connecting people. Also for students, I think for reformers and for a lot of us, the community is a good place to test your ideas, maybe to do your student projects. So you have the platform and also other people to help you try out. And yes, actually one of the most important things is the opportunity about presenting that the waste is not waste. It's something that can be a resource for us.
Thank you. And if you could just put them together again, the different ones. And the next task is about dream scenario.
Like-minded people, or maybe different people, but like something is common. Experience of like working together or working in an organization, saving food, and I said being critical and also like the opportunity to be critical to anything, because like, you know, we are not belonging to any company, so we can say whatever we want basically, more or less. And therefore we can also make these problems more visible, connections and networking, and of course contribution to like sustainable like development, or like sustainability. So it's very short. Yep.
Yeah. And also it could be an opportunity for the city. Like maybe it could help attract students who have a passion for this kind of field, and maybe also to retain, fastholde de studerende. I don't know how to say it in English, but it could be a strategic tool for that also. And then I was just, well, maybe this could be just a way of impacting people's life in a more broad way, because food is one resource, but there are a lot of other different resources getting wasted out there. And yeah, I think that was it.
It would help people to put focus on the problem in society. Then it would create a purpose and hope for people to act upon. So you can actually go do something to help, and not just say you want to help, but actually being able to help. And then giving these persons a place for people to change their mind together. So collateral thinking.
There's a lot of like this collaboration in this group. That's really good.
Without words.
You can.
Yeah, I have actually a little bit to this, because in the community we are dreaming about a place, a new sustainable center somewhere in the middle of the city, and it doesn't only have to be sustainability. It could also be voluntary. Different. Just a big meeting place where we have all these interesting, all these important discussions. And it's business, and it's volunteers, and it's maybe some from the commune, and
so a physical place for people.
Yeah, and you have different places, so you like appeal to a lot of different. You just invite people in there to make discussions.
So we should build that park at Riberdyb with the containers and stuff.
That's actually
I think
been
still is the best idea instead of city houses.
Yes, we have a dream all of us about having this type of business.
Yeah.
So that's next.
We actually do. Yeah. Think about it.
It's a good idea.
Yeah.
It's part of that hub thinking. Also.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Calling green hub.
Maybe that could be the purpose.
Excuse me?
Maybe this could be the purpose you're talking about. So the volunteers and the members, this could be like the vision, something that they have a bigger dream and a bigger vision.
Yeah, about what we can build actually.
Yes.
That's a good idea.
And maybe, I don't know, for those of you that doesn't, well, we talked about 1 year ago to actually use the space down there at the Riberdyb to actually have a place for students and the design schools there, IBA, STU, can use this space, and also to have maybe green garden, and to invite this different businesses down, and to actually have a physical space for students and people that are interested in sustainability and volunteering, or just like doing something.
Or it could be something where you just throw the seeds and then you have the resources, so your ideas can start.
Actually, it's like Godsbanen in Aarhus, and now at the harbour in Fredericia, exactly. So that's so strong. Now Godsbanen has become the power center of Aarhus, actually. You know, all the institutions, the architect school and stuff that moved down there, and they built a big culture house, and So to start with, it was just some city space, and they told the guy who asked, "Can I come and build something?" And he said, "Yes, just use it." And right now, so because you just said, "Do what you want with it," we don't interfere at all. If we have this courage and calling community,
yeah, it's still giving it free.
Yeah. And be part of the rest, like in the farm stuff like that.
And that could also be an opportunity for the students to maybe show what they're doing, because there's so many things, and then maybe to get a job afterwards, which is something that I think a lot of us that are still going to be learning or are done working with maybe.
It's also quite the same as you said, basically. Ideally, with the help from local government to be able to generate like my initiative.
Same. That's a lot of the same. That's good.
I just basically worked out with detail. Yeah, just having a regularly updated calendar, and not just tracks events, but then also.
Something about it going around claiming spaces and making it more sustainable and things like that. You had one idea with the whole center of sustainability to be a location where people could meet who had different sustainability agendas, and I had an idea about making food performers into a concept which could be copy-pasted in other cities around Denmark and in Europe. So we collected our ideas in this beautiful thing where we have the headquarter here, the Sustainability Center of Kolding, where a lot of different people, citizens, education institutions, businesses, municipalities, students, everyone who has something about sustainability in their heart can come here and meet, and yeah, these represent different sustainability themes and agendas. Food performers are over here, but it could also be something about the biodiversity, water, recycling, whatever. And I don't know if you will explain the vandring.
The water is just a symbol of we need water.
Nutrition.
We need what was it, nutrition?
Nutrition, næring.
Oh, yeah. And we get that from Green Hearts, and we get that also from money, because we do need the businesses to be here as well.
And love.
And also, that was a Green Heart, Red Heart and Green Heart.
Yeah, and then we have created some breadcrumbs here, because the things that we do here in Kolding will get out to the world, and this is the Big Apple, so we will go all the way to New York City and influence them with our green, sustainable ideas. Yeah.
Thank you.
Very creative.
One of them is the Space Time model of like how space and design and research studio are supported by IKEA in Copenhagen, and Jonah's idea of making calling into
Entrepreneurship hub city.
Yes. So our idea was the grapes are the students and the universities, and then the little peppers are the bottom-up organization, and they crawling up their way into companies and municipalities, and basically those are supported by, the organization is supported by the companies and municipalities financially, and they can do the research and design with the students who study here. Right?
Yep.
Thank you.
We had an idea about getting the municipality to support the circular economy a lot more, and that's why we made the municipality here, with lots of waste coins and money coming out here. This is Eden.
Our queen.
Yeah, our queen. Yeah, and we made these so that there are both composts around and there are small gardens around, so that the whole town becomes nicer and greener and so
circular.
on. And circular. Yeah, exactly. So supporting the circular economy a lot more from the municipality side, and daring to go a bit further with the new ideas and so on in this way. Yeah.
Noted.
Yeah. Take the chances instead and try so that we can be in front instead of all of the other cities.
Yes. That is the compost down there? Or?
The compost are the red ones. These are gardens. Oh, and these are the supermarket as well. That we go. Yeah.
Oh, so is it a value chain or not?
It's just, yeah, it's.
Did we get to that?
I think it's like the whole storytelling here. It came from our three ideas, our three stories. My vision about the linear economy shifting into more circular economy. Then Tommy's idea about involving the municipality, being more active and doing the being a part of the change.
Yeah, and using more funds on this.
And then it was the dream scenario of Monica, which was like setting the economy and like the
one was like creating that composting gardens and like also greenhouses would become like very and very accessible. So it would just become super implemented inside the city's life. So that was one of the dream scenarios. Another one was with supermarkets and food distributors, specifically with the packaging, so it would be more natural substitute instead of plastic. So it's kind of a lot of ideas.
And yes, but it's like kind of going again to the old times where we're like growing our food and planting and eating actually what we can produce. And is it then maybe we can raise the question about, is it the new economy, the circular economy, the same one that was from the old times, and yeah, how it's working, and then involving the municipality.
Was it difficult to put the different ideas together?
No.
I know.
They fit.